Hello, hello. I kind of wanted to just talk a little bit about a bit of a eco dilemma that I've been having. To be more specific, it's a compost dilemma. So I've been composting my food scraps for the past, it's probably going on 2 years now. And by that, I don't mean I've been doing my compost scraps. New York City offers organics collection, so what I've been doing is over the past couple of years walking it over to the farmers market, which is about a 10 to 15 minute walk, and dropping it off there on a weekend. But due to Corona and budget cuts that have happened, New York has suspended its organics collection for potentially a year, 13 months to be exact. And so a lot of people, myself included, have been wondering, what are we going to do with our food scraps? And it's literally kept me up a couple of nights, which I know is not normal, but I definitely have my mom's traits in the sense that I worry a lot about things and I overanalyze a lot of things. So, they suspended the organics collection at the beginning of this month. And for a while I had been able to kind of ninja my way through it. So initially they stopped the compost collection at the farmers markets, but they still had some people who had curbside. And so I was able, through my local Buy Nothing group, to find someone who had a bin for the curbside. And for a month, I was able to drop off my compost there. So it was great. It was awesome. One solution, fixed. But then they suspended that as well. So now I've had the conversation with so many people, who are trying to figure out, what are we going to do? We don't want to start sending our compost to the landfill, because that produces methane gas, which contributes to climate change. So I've been debating what to do. Should I wait it out? There's been a lot of movement with people signing petitions and getting active and reaching out to city council. And so I've signed the petitions, I've reached out to my local, government officials. But with most things with government, things move very slow. So I started to get a lot of anxiety. I have these containers on my fire escape, where I keep my food scraps. And I'm like, what am I gonna do, And so I've done a ton of research on vermicomposting, which is worm bins. I had my friend Sophie help me out, and we actually did a live workshop essentially on vermicomposting, which is composting with worms online, which you can check out on YouTube. And next week I have another friend who's does all kind of composting, and she's gonna answer all my questions about using a tumbler. But anyways, after all of this research, I finally decided the worm bin wasn't for me for two reasons. You can't put citrus in it, and my husband goes through quite a bit of citrus, so it just wouldn't work for us. And it doesn't seem to be able to take a lot. And so eventually I decided that I was going to buy a compost tumbler. Our building that we live in does have a backyard. It's not technically ours, but we're gonna see how it goes. So the compost tumbler is coming next week, and God, I've had buyer's remorse. At first I was so excited, great, solved the problem, And over the past few days I'm like, shoot, should I have done this? Is this a good idea? Is this gonna be a lot of work? I'm starting to regret the decision. And it's this eco guilt situation where I just go back and forth, And in a way, okay, so I'm gonna get this compost tumbler and I'm gonna be able to do my compost, and that solves my problem, but it doesn't solve the bigger problem of all of New York no longer being able to compost its food scraps. So it kind of, plays into that whole thing of individual versus infrastructural or governmental change, or national change. Is this, me doing this doesn't really affect the larger problem, solve the larger problem. It solves my problem, right? And then it's also going to be a lot of work, and I'm just in my head so much. And I feel like this with lots of different things, but this has really been plaguing me. So with all of this, I just kind of wanted to share that I don't have all the answers. There's no perfect solution. And even with, making the decision, I'm not is this the right decision? I just wanted to share this sort of thought process and experience that I'm having, with, trying to figure out what is the best decision. And maybe you can relate to it. Maybe if you live in New York, you've also been sort of weighing the pros and cons of what you should do. Should you wait it out? Should you try to figure out a solution? What is the solution that works best for you? I wanted to share that, and also that when I get my compost tumbler, I'm going to be taking you along that experience with me, so you can check it out firsthand.